Well, this morning I woke up with a scripture in mind. The steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. If you read Psalm 118 and 136, you will see that He always is with us. He never forsakes us. 6 years ago, Rick was a deacon at All Saints Church, and I was right by his side, sometimes teaching Sunday school classes. We were both writing books at the time, and in fact, on my birthday, the church had an event called The Taste of All Saints, and I won a trophy on my birthday for having the best table. I made 7 kinds of fudge. And my sign said, "Oh fudge, you be the judge." And I think my sign is what won me the prize. But 6 days later, which was Halloween Day, Rick had a doctor's appointment at 9 o'clock in the morning, and he went and took a shower, and he couldn't make it into the living room without my help. So we went right to the doctor, and they ended up taking him from the doctor's office in an ambulance to the hospital, where at 1 or 2 minutes till midnight he had a major brainstem stroke. The neurologist came to see me about 2 hours later. Rick had not been returned yet to the room, and he said, "Mrs. Hoover, come and look at these x-rays." And Rick had had 3 clots in his brain, and the main one in the brainstem. He said, "I don't know if he's going to make it through the night." And it never crossed my mind to believe him, because God is faithful. Since I was a child, God is faithful. So I said, he's going to be fine. Well, they finally brought him back to the room, and he couldn't swallow, and his one side of his face had just kind of let loose, so he didn't look like himself. But after 7 days, they said, if we don't put a feeding tube in, he's going to starve to death. And we'd already signed a do not resuscitate order, but feeding is no big deal. So we had a feeding tube put in. And he's still here. Well, we had problems with how are we going to bring Rick home, because first of all, he had to be in the hospital a couple of weeks at Lakeland Regional, and then he went to rehab. Well, while he was in rehab, they taught him how to get off the floor if he fell down. They taught him how to walk. They showed me how to shower him. They worked with him like they do at a rehab, and then they were going to send him home. Well, we couldn't get in the house because there was a step into the house. The bathroom doors were narrow. There was a cabinet in his bathroom. Between his mother and our church and friends, they remodeled our home. They made a level entrance into the house. They made a roll-in shower and roll-under sink in his bathroom. They took out the entire kitchen to make it easy for him to get around. The island, it didn't have an island before. And we spent 1 week after rehab in a hotel. And when we came home, we had a new house. I don't know how that happened, but God does. This is Miss Pearl.
This Pearl's cute.
I bought her because I'll quit gardening when pigs fly. We got peppers here. Green peppers. These are going to be yellow when they come out. That's a purple ginger, and I just have one bud on it right now. But last year it went nuts. God is faithful. That's a dragonfly. People help us all the time. They call, they text, this is 6 years on, and people are still paying attention. And they're God's people. That's why. I can't even express the gratitude I have to the Lord. Even Tony, who's filming this, walked into my living room and sees the lake. We live in a perfect place. We have level entry into our home. We have avenues for Rick to walk around the house. He can do a figure eight through the living room and kitchen. He's got access to his office. One of the blessings of being home is that although we're not agile, our minds are active, and we are able to continue to communicate via the internet. Rick has just finished editing over 40 books for someone, and he's writing books. He's on his second book since he finished the editing job. So we have a purpose, and God has a purpose for us. Even though it sounds like this is a horrible situation, you can't go anywhere, can't do anything. It's not horrible at all. It's God's plan. So we are still able to minister. We just don't have to be there physically. We can still contribute to the society, but we don't have to be in society. We miss All Saints. We miss our family. But we don't miss the presence of the Lord because He's here. Thank you for letting me share today.